YouTube Live weather update as our storm system has been rolling through the area, especially impacting areas west of the divide so far today. This is going to spread to more of the region overnight tonight and into tomorrow, and there is going to be the potential for some travel impacts. So, like I said, I want to jump in, give you a little update on what we can expect overnight tonight, some changes in the forecast as compared to yesterday at this time. So if you can give me about a minute, I'll get everything working here behind the scenes. In the meantime, I will show you the most recent look at radar, the looping radar last, say, 3 hours or so, showing this storm system rolling into the region. And one unique factor of this is the fact that our snow levels are starting to crash. Cold front moving through the region is the cause of that. So, like I said, if you can give me about 30 seconds to a minute, I'll get everything working here back behind the scenes, and we will get started in this pretty quickly. Again, as long as everything works here like is expected. Works here like is expected. All right, there we go. Everything is working. I've got the audio working, and it's a couple other things back here behind the scenes. So if you have any questions or comments as we go throughout this update, certainly feel free to ask those. I'll try and answer them, or if they show up in the chat section, I'll try and answer them as we go about this live update. So, like I was saying, storm system has been rolling in. It's been a pretty soggy day for parts of northwest and west central Montana, and really that continues to be the case as we take live looks across the region. We are dealing with the wet roads. It's been all rain for for the valleys of northwest and west central Montana. As we look towards our Butte camera, once that pops back up, you notice we are starting to see the snow on our camera here on the East Ridge. So that gives you a sense of where the snow levels are at. They're up in the mountains. Those are going to be falling as we go throughout the night. And temperatures are going to play a very important role in this. Right now, we're in the low to mid 40s area-wide for our current temperatures. This is why down in the valleys, as is the case even in Butte, Missoula, Kalispell, it's been rain all day. And that's what's going to continue for another couple of hours before this cold front fully pushes through and brings us at least the potential for some more impacts, especially over our mountain passes. And let me flip this around really quick because there is one other camera or set of cameras that I want to pop up momentarily, and that's going to be some of our Montana and Idaho Department of Transportation cameras up along our passes, especially Lolo Pass. It's the one that has the most light. So if I can get that pulled up here really quick, I'll spin the camera back around. For example, I'd show Lost Trail, but that's all you're going to see is the inky blackness of night. But let me pop this up big. Here gives you kind of a sense of what Lolo Pass is looking like right now. Slushy accumulations are starting to build. We're going to see more of this overnight tonight. Earlier on in the evening, this was all rain. There was snow, of course, on the sides of the road, but not on US 12 itself. So this type of view that we're seeing here at Lolo Pass, we're going to see this for more of our passes overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. And I think that's really where our biggest concerns for travel impacts are going to stay. This is actually from today. This is a little bit of a note. I'll bring this up. Not maybe necessarily weather related, but here on Highway 200, going from Lincoln over towards Rogers Pass, there is an incident there, traffic sign damaged and crashed. So watch for cross traffic in that area. This is right at that intersection of State Route 279 and Highway 200, essentially where the split off for Flesher Pass is, as compared to going over to Rogers Pass. Just wanted to pop that up. Can't really see a whole lot on that camera. Still looks like the roads are in good shape there for Rogers. The one I was after specifically is McDonald Pass, as we do have the lights there to show. And right now it is just wet. So for the moment, we're just looking at wet conditions there at Rogers Pass. All the rest of our passes are going to be much harder to see as compared to that one. So we're going to continue to see these rain and snow showers overnight. Snow levels will be falling throughout the night, and we're going to be looking at overnight lows in the upper 20s to mid 30s. Again, these temperatures are going to be very important. Butte, Bozeman, 29 and 30 degrees. As we get into tomorrow morning and the storm system pulls more into your area, this will likely be falling as snow, or at least the precipitation will likely be falling as snow. With temperatures towards Missoula-Kalispell just above the freezing point, we could see that rain-snow mix or even everything just staying as rain. It's going to be very close for the US 93 corridor and, say, the Highway 200 and US 2 corridors west of US 93, where we may stay primarily as rain for the duration of this event. So going back into radar, we can see plenty of moisture, not just for Montana, but across Oregon, Washington, Utah, Nevada, Idaho, and even parts of Northern California. As this large trough of low pressure digs into the region, the majority of the energy is this part associated down in here into southern Idaho. This is going to track a little bit further south. So the bulk of the energy is going to continue to track further south down into parts of Nevada, Utah, and Wyoming. We are going to be getting the glancing blow, still moisture for this to go around into our region. So I'm going to stop this and start zooming in to more of the area. Starting off here in northwest Montana, the radar isn't picking up on all of the moisture, but a lot of it is staying just to the south of the US 2 corridor. Spotty showers from Troy and Libby over to Kalispell and then up into Marias Pass will continue. We'll likely see another round this back over here to the west. May start to slide in later, but it's as you get from Flathead Lake over towards, say, Trout Creek, roughly in this line. That's where that moisture starts to build back in. Snow levels right now sitting around 4,000 to 4,500 feet, but they are going to continue to fall. So again, valleys west of the divide. Right now we are all rain. This includes places like Polson, St. Ignatius, Superior, St. Regis, Missoula, Frenchtown, Alberton, Florence, Stevensville, Victor, Hamilton, and Darby. And then even further off to the east, Drummond, Clinton, Deer Lodge, Anaconda. Right now we are all rain in Butte. Wouldn't surprise me if mostly still rain in Phillipsburg, though. That does start to get up into elevation, so some snow can't be ruled out. We will likely see some snow in this area from Phillipsburg up to Georgetown Lake and over to Anaconda later on tonight. Then some of these showers down here on I-15, back towards Dillon, Clark Canyon Reservoir, Sheridan, Luray, Twin Bridges. Just some light rain right now. This will increase in coverage overnight into this part of southwest Montana. So it's just light right now. We'll see plenty more of that building. So with this storm system, we have winter weather advisories for primarily our mountain areas along and south of Interstate 90, though a pair of new advisories have come out. I actually haven't gotten to look at these, so give me just a second to get these, because these do include Ennis, Cameron, Bozeman, Belgrade, really the Gallatin Valley and the Madison River Valley as well. So those are the newest ones that have come out. Let me see if I can get some information on those particular ones really quick before I jump into anything else. Still hunting it down. Let's see. Okay. Madison River Valley and Gallatin Valley, including the following locations. So again, these two zones. Spin these back around, including McAllister, Ennis, Bozeman, Norris, Jeffers, Cameron, and Gallatin Gateway. Snow expected, total snow accumulations from now till 3 p.m. on Thursday, up to 2 inches in the valleys, with up to 4 inches in the foothills adjacent to the mountains. So down in the valley floors, probably talking adjusting upwards to 2 inches. I've kind of been mentioning that all afternoon, but there is going to be the additional snowfall, maybe upwards to 4 inches in the foothills. So this still follows on pretty close to what I was expecting earlier on this afternoon. We just didn't have the winter weather advisories as part of that. So those are now in effect as of 8:15, so just over an hour ago, continuing through 3 p.m. And that goes to a lot of these down here. These east of the divide, so down here south towards Lima, Menida Pass, Madison River Valley, Gallatin Valley, Big Belt, Bridger and Castle Mountains, Centennial, as well as the Gallatin and Madison County Mountains. We're talking these advisories in place through 3 p.m. Thursday afternoon for the potential for the valleys of a dusting upwards to 2, maybe isolated 3-inch totals. In the higher elevations, once you get into the foothills and above, could see up to 4 inches, and then up past level and higher, we could be talking anywhere from about, say, 3 to 7 inches in these zones. Similar story back off to the west, similar kinds of impacts for the Bitterroot Sapphire Mountains, as well as for the Butte Blackfoot region and the Elkhorn and Boulder Mountains, where we could be talking for the mountains themselves 2 to 7 inches. For the Butte Blackfoot region, especially for areas above 5,000 feet, about 2 to 3 inches of snow can't be ruled out. So minor to moderate travel impacts will be possible for the mountains, and maybe even for the valleys down into parts of southwest Montana. I think that's going to be a higher likelihood of seeing accumulating snowfall as compared to any of our other valleys. So really, with my thinking, this lines up pretty well into tomorrow afternoon. So going into Future Tracker, I think it's got it pretty well spot on. A little bit of a lull here in northwest Montana. Valley rain, mountain snow showers, primarily Interstate 15 being that dividing line right now. But watch as we go later into the night. More of the blues are showing up, less of the greens and pinks. As we get beyond midnight, I think places like Butte, Dillon, we've transitioned over to all snow at this point. We'll see the storm system rolling through, the cold front passing through fairly quickly. And at times, we could even talk moderate to occasionally heavy snowfall during this, especially in the higher elevations. This will continue to march its way as we get into Sunrise or close there too, nearing places like Bozeman. Could still be dry at this point, though. 7 to 8 o'clock, Bozeman, down to Big Sky. We may not see this storm just yet for this particular storm. Back off to the west, still looking into that 7 to 8 o'clock period. Rain and snow back into the US 93 corridor, so we don't maybe get quite as much cold air west of the divide to stay in place. So we may be stuck as rain for places like Missoula, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do end up with at least a little bit of snow trying to mix in, again, Hamilton, Missoula, Kalispell, Polson, for tomorrow morning. Moving forward, now the focus is going to pretty much be in southwest Montana at this point. As we get into tomorrow morning's commute and continuing through the day, we are going to see this snow continuing. Butte, it may start to calm down. Same thing for Dillon as we get closer into lunchtime. Bozeman, at this point, we're really in the thick of it. So from about 8 o'clock and on, Bozeman, Ennis, Big Sky, West Yellowstone, that's where we're going to see probably our heaviest snowfall rates, or at least the heaviest during this duration. As we get beyond, say, 4 o'clock, things will start to slowly taper off. This particular model keeps more of this activity down into southwest Montana areas east of I-15 later on into the afternoon. More isolated in nature, still dealing with rain and snow mixed for the lower elevations west of the divide. This particular model keeps some of that snowfall into Bozeman all the way through about 9, 10 o'clock in the evening, so we could continue to see some light accumulations even at that point. And because of that, even as the snow starts to slowly taper off into Friday morning, can't rule out some isolated slick spots for the morning commute on Friday as well. I think Interstate 15 could be a bit messy for the Thursday morning commute, but improving as we get later on in the day. Down towards Bozeman, it takes a little bit longer just because it arrives later into the day as well. And by Friday midday, most of the storm is clearing the region. We're quieting down, at least for the short term, before another storm system is set to move into our region. So looking at the snowfall totals, this is just for mountain passes specifically through about 10 o'clock. This is looking into the end of Friday. I think on average 2 to 7 inches are going to be common for passes across western Montana. There will be some isolated heavier totals here and there. You see Lookout, Lost Trail, Bozeman in that 4 to 8 inch range. So some isolated heavier totals can't be ruled out. 2 to 7 inches are going to be most common, and that will be enough to create minor to potentially moderate travel impacts over the next, say, 48 hours or so. At least that's my thought, until we finally start to calm down just a little bit as we head into Friday afternoon. and before the next storm system moves in just in time for Saturday. In addition to this, winds will be kicking up with the cold front. This is going to bring those winds out of the west, anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour being common. Could even see gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour throughout the day, throughout Thursday. Just with this storm system. If that, in those areas where that happens, some blowing and drifting snow, especially over our passes, can't be ruled out. Winds do calm back down into Friday morning, but I think we're going to stay on the breezy side Friday as well as into Saturday, maybe even some stronger winds for areas along and east of the divide Saturday into Sunday with northwesterly flow in place, very similar to what we saw earlier on in well, I guess I should say back into last week, where some very strong winds were going on the eastern side of the divide and down the downslope flow there towards East Glacier Park in that area. With this cold front, temperatures are going to cool down a little bit, but still talking above average at about 5 degrees. This is one reason why I think the impacts will be lesser than what they would be otherwise. We could be getting a little bit of help from warm surface temperatures, but down towards Bozeman and Ennis, where we now have those winter weather advisories, the snow may be falling hard enough that it overcomes the warm surface temperatures where we do get that chance for some travel impacts. Most of the rest of the area, I think we're going to be in at least better shape for our lower elevation roads because of these temperatures above freezing by a decent margin. Upper 30s, low to mid 40s are going to be common for Thursday and Friday, but up over our passes at pass level and higher, temperatures will be cooler, so they'll be closer to freezing, if not a little bit below freezing, and that's what's going to allow those road conditions to continue to be a bit on the rough side for some of our passes, and I'd say many of our passes over the next couple of days. But after we get past Friday, even with that next wave of moisture moving in for Saturday and maybe even another one for Sunday, look at those temperatures. They're back into the 50s, maybe even low 60s for Bozeman as we approach Sunday. Before a little bit of a cool down, we're going to be on a bit of a roller coaster. Temperatures going down, then going back up. As we get into next week, we will likely see those fall down pretty quickly again into Tuesday and Wednesday, potentially back down into the 30s for high temperatures with another storm system moving in, but that'll be something we have plenty of time to watch. But with that, the active weather is sticking around. Showers taper off. We'll see that go from widespread on Thursday, especially in southwest Montana, to more isolated in nature into Friday morning. By the afternoon, we're even quieter. Then Saturday, here comes another wave of moisture. That calms down into Sunday morning, and maybe Sunday night into Monday is when that next storm system moves through. And we'll see that here on our regional future tracker. I'll back this up to Sunday itself. So here's that chance for some isolated showers, primarily northwest Montana. This continues to build through the day, moving into west central portions of the state. So Kalispell, Polson, Missoula, Hamilton. Can't rule out some rain showers for Sunday afternoon and evening. This continues to move its way across the region Monday, becoming more, I'd say more areas get involved with it. Not necessarily more widespread, but more of the area will see some active weather. Monday into Tuesday, here we go again. And Tuesday right now, there is likely going to be some colder air that moves in for the early parts of next week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time frame, we may see high temperatures only in the 30s, and that would give us a window for at least accumulating mountain snow, but maybe even some valley accumulations as well, just depending on how much moisture is involved with this next storm system for next week, as well as if we get any Arctic air that slides in here before maybe even a stronger system moves in for Thursday. We'll have to see how this one goes. We're still talking a week plus out for that for I'll say our second storm system beyond the current one we're dealing with, and then the one moving in for early next week. So that's pretty much everything I had. Tried to make it as brief as I could. I knew I was running out of time just a little bit as we get close to our 10 o'clock broadcast. But the last chance if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. But main takeaways for tonight: we've had the storm system rolling in. It's going to continue to push through the region. Right now it's west of the divide. Overnight tonight, along and east of the divide, will start to get involved. Bozeman, you may be dry initially for the morning commute, but I think by the afternoon, or not even the afternoon, the late morning, say 8 or between 9 and noon, that's when we could be seeing some moderate to occasionally heavy snowfall. We have winter weather advisories for most of our mountains of west central and southwestern Montana. We also have the winter weather advisories for the Butte-Blackfoot region. Those continue through 8 a.m. Might even see those get extended a little bit further if the storm system tracks a little bit more slowly through the region. We'll certainly keep you advised on that one. But then also down towards the Madison and Gallatin valleys, where we could be seeing some accumulating snowfall upwards to around 2 to 4 inches in the foothills, but 2 inches for valley floors or less from there. Those run through 3 p.m., but the likelihood of still seeing some scattered snow showers even into the afternoon and evening will be there for southwestern Montana east of I-15. Things get more isolated into Friday morning with some scattered showers still west of the divide, but temperatures will gradually start to climb into the weekend, even with another weak system that moves through for Saturday and then Sunday into Monday. That's going to be our next, I'll say, main system. So we've got our current main system. Main system number 2 is going to be moving in for Sunday night, Monday, with a secondary system in between the two. Then we'll see likely another secondary system for Tuesday and Wednesday with some colder air, which may actually transition all of the valley rain to at least a rain-snow mix, if not all snow. And then maybe even another strong system, third one, moving in towards the latter parts of next week. But overall, we're on a little bit of a roller coaster. Temperatures go down, back up, back down, back up again. With that, we're going to be dealing with scattered showers. So the active weather pattern is sticking around for at least the next week, if not even longer than that. We will certainly take all the moisture we can get, help to build up our mid and upper level snowpacks. We will lose a little bit of that as we head into the weekend, just as the temperatures start to warm back up. But high elevations will still be looking at all snow through this duration. So thank you all for spending a little bit of time with me this evening. Tune into our live broadcast coming up here in 20 minutes with the latest news and weather updates. It has been a very busy news day for Montana, especially when it comes to politics and Senate and House races that are going to be coming up over the next few months. So lots of new information coming out about a lot of that breaking news that was happening in the 5 and 6 o'clock hours. I'll have the latest updates on those winter weather advisories now for places like Ennis and Bozeman that are now into effect, and we'll go from there. Also, tomorrow morning, NBC Montana Today with Chief Meteorologist Brooke Foster, Jason Hurst. They'll have the latest travel updates. Brooke, I know, will have those road conditions as you get ready to head out the door for work and for school. And then if you have any photos or videos of the snow moving into your region later on tonight, especially down in southwest Montana, feel free to share those with us at nbcmontana.com/chime-in. And I will be back for our live broadcasts tomorrow at 5, 6, and 10. Depending on how things are going, I may do another one of these YouTube lives for tomorrow evening, just depending on how everything plays out. We'll go from there. But regardless, I will see you all on the next one of these. Have a great evening. Have a safe day tomorrow, and I'll see you all next time. With NBC Montana, I'm meteorologist Mitchell Coombs.